Hi guys, it's Miss Scouty here. Today I want to talk about how I can take a problem that looks like this with a whole number and a mixed number and multiply it. Anytime I multiply fractions, no matter what the numbers are in the equation, I want to change them so they look like regular fractions, like this, with a numerator on top and a denominator on bottom, and no whole numbers out in the front. So let's take a look at this 3 right here. It's a whole number. I know that because it's not in fraction form. There's no decimals by it. It's just a regular 3. Anytime I have a whole number, there's something I can do to it to make it into a fraction. And that is putting it over a 1. By doing this, I'm saying 3 divided by 1. I know 3 divided by 1 is just 3, so I didn't change the value of it. Now what about this fraction over here? It's a mixed number. I have a fraction here and a whole number together. I need to find a way to make it into a fraction that looks like this. Here's how I can do that. Think back to unit 1. We're going to multiply the denominator by the whole number first. So I'm going to do 4 times 1, and that gives me 5. And I'm going to write a little 5 up here so I don't forget. Now I'm going to continue my loop here. I'm going to work it all the way around. I have 5. Now I'm going to add it to my numerator. So I had 4 times 1, which is 5. Now I'm going to add 5 plus 1 is 6. And I'm going to write that over here. Okay. My denominator stays the same. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, fix this. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So that's my new numerator. Ignore my little mistake there. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And I carry that over to my new fraction here, and my denominator stays the same. Okay, so I changed this mixed number here, and I made it into 5/4. We know this is an improper fraction. It has a big head and a little body. I'm going to rewrite my problem, though, now. So if you were working on a whiteboard, you could erase your old work and rewrite it with 5/4. So now I've turned both these fractions into pretty normal fractions. Even though this is improper, I have a numerator and a denominator on both. Now that it looks like this, all I need to do is multiply my numbers across the top. 3 times 5 and 1 times 4. So 3 times 5 gives me 15. 1 times 4 gives me 4. Okay. Knowing what we do about our final answer, we know this isn't a good way to leave a problem. This is improper. Big head, little body, we don't leave answers like this. So let's take this number and turn it back into a mixed number, because there is more than one whole in that answer. We don't want to leave it like that. To do that, we need to put these numbers into jail. All right. 15 is my number that was illegal. He broke the law, so he goes inside of our jail. And 4 is safe. He stays out. How many times can I fit 4 into 15 without going over? Well, if I'm not super sure, I can use my multiplication chart, or I can skip count. Let's count 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 is too much, so I need to go back. That means I can only fit it in there 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. When I subtract those, that gives me 3. All right, let's use all this new information here. We're going to pull it apart and figure out what my mixed number is. The number on top tells me what my whole number is. It tells me I was able to fit it in there 3 whole times. My remainder is my new numerator, and my denominator stays the same. My denominator was this number, 4, and so it stays the same. Okay, let's take a look at this 3 3/3 here. Can I simplify it? Think to yourself for a second, is there anything that can divide both 3 and 4 evenly? There's not, because I can divide 3 by 1 and 3, but I can't divide 4 by 3. So that means it's my best answer. Okay, let's do one more together, and then you guys can work on your own. Today we're going to be working on Google Slides. We actually will not have a paper. It will be all digital. Math will be that way this whole week. Very different. Okay, let's say I have a problem that looks like this. All right. I have 2 1/3 multiplied by 4. 2 1/3 is a mixed number, and 4 is a whole number. Let's start by making this number into an improper fraction, so that way I have a nice numerator and denominator and nothing else. To do this, we're going to kind of work in our loop here. So starting with this, I'm going to multiply 3 times 2. Multiply 3 times 2, and that gives me 6. I got that one right this time. Whoops. I'm going to write a little 6 here so I don't forget. And now I need to complete my loop. Next, I add my answer to my numerator. 6 plus 1 is 7. I'm going to rewrite that right here. And my denominator stays the same. I have a 3 here, so I'm going to keep it as 3, and I'm going to erase my old work so I don't get confused. Okay, so this looks like a great fraction, even though it is improper. I have a nice numerator and I have a nice denominator. Now I have this whole number 4, though. I need to put a 1 underneath it, because this is saying 4 divided by 1. I know that 4 divided by 1 is 4. And it stays the same. So now let's work our way across the top. I'm going to multiply my top numbers. 7 times 4. 7 times 4 gives me 28 as my new numerator. Now let's multiply across the bottom. 3 times 1 is 3. So I know this is an improper fraction. We're going to have to change it to a mixed number. We don't leave our answers like this ever, do we? Okay. This number is going to go to jail because he's illegal. He's not supposed to be that big. And 3, my denominator comes over here, and that is what I multiply by. So when I do long division, I'm asking myself, how many times can this number, the outside number, go into the inside number without going over? How many times can I fit 3 into 28? Think about it for just a second. How many times can I fit 3 into 28 without going over? Okay, if I'm not super sure, I can count on my fingers, or I can pull up my multiplication chart. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. That was really close, but I can't have that 9th one. I can only fit it in there 9 times. 9 times 3 gives me 27. 8 minus 7 is 1, and 2 minus 2 is 0, so I have a remainder of 1. Okay, let's look at this math that I just did here, and let's change this back into a mixed number. My whole number that sits out front, it's whatever's up top. This is how many whole times I was able to pull 3 out of 28, which was 9. My numerator for this answer is my remainder, and it looks like my remainder was 1. And my denominator stays the same. My denominator was this number out here, 3, so it stays the same. Now, here's our answer. Can I simplify this at all? Is there anything I can do to this fraction right here that would make it any smaller? There is not, so this is my best answer possible. When you do your worksheet today, you cannot leave any numbers as mixed numbers or as improper numbers. If you notice that a fraction has a big head and a little body, I need you to put it in jail and turn it back into a mixed number. Please be so good today, you guys. I miss you lots, but good luck on your math today. And ask Mrs. DeHaan if you need any help at all. Bye.